was a yacht girl. That's right. It's mentioned in the book. Meghan used to entertain as a yacht girl. Now, I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it happened, but I am saying Harry knows it.
They say every fairy tale starts with once upon a time, but Meghan Markle's version, it starts with once upon a yacht.
There is absolutely zero doubt in my mind. Rachel Meghan Markle was a semi-expensive yacht girl, and she knows it.
Before she was the Duchess of Drama, she was an actress navigating Hollywood's rejection letters and high society guest lists. Until she discovered the real red carpet wasn't in Los Angeles, it was floating somewhere in the Mediterranean.
Many of you have seen this picture already. You see that there's Meghan with her Cajuna hat?
Yes, while most actresses were fighting for roles, Meghan was networking with billionaires on luxury decks, where the champagne never stopped and the cameras were never allowed.
Meghan Markle did know Prince Andrew, and she knew Sarah incredibly well, which makes Zara a liar, because she says, I didn't know Meghan Markle until she invited me to her wedding. That is BS.
And now the ghosts of those golden yacht days are back, dragging her royal reputation straight into the storm. Because when Sarah Ferguson casually dropped the bomb, calling Meghan Andrew's first client, jaws hit the palace floor faster than the royal approval ratings.
And I wonder if Prince Andrew's gonna come out and say, hey, Harry, I did your wife quite a few times on yachts before you got her.
It wasn't just shade, it was an explosion, connecting Meghan's glamorous past to the darkest corners of Prince Andrew's scandal-soaked circle. And poor Harry, the rebel prince who traded a crown for California's sunshine, just found out that the love story he risked it all for might have sailed through waters far murkier than he ever imagined. So grab your teacup, because tonight's brew is royal grade hot. This isn't just a scandal, it's a storm. And when the truth docks, someone's crown won't survive the tide.
You're gonna be shocked to find out who is Fergie's target and what she's willing to disclose and how far she will go just to get revenge with Meghan.
The silence inside the palace didn't last long. Within hours, the whispers turned into a headline storm. Fergie drops bombshell about Meghan's past. According to royal insiders, the Duchess of York wasn't speaking off the cuff. She knew exactly what she was doing. Her remark about Meghan being Andrew's first client wasn't a slip. It was a calculated spark tossed straight into the royal powder keg. Behind those marble gates, panic spread fast. Senior aides were reportedly calling emergency meetings, desperate to contain what they feared could become the next Andrew-level disaster. Because this time, the name tangled in the whispers wasn't an aging dupe. It was Meghan Markle, the woman who once promised to modernize the monarchy and instead became its most polarizing figure.
Fergie has nothing to lose. Fergie wants to scorch the earth with the royal family now that she's no longer able to use the title. That is a cautionary tale for Harry, the idiot, who doesn't understand that he's married to the enemy. He's sleeping with the enemy.
Sources close to the family describe an undercurrent of disbelief, not only at Fergie's audacity, but at what her words might really mean. The idea that Meghan's early networking days, those elusive yacht summers surrounded by power brokers and discreet billionaires, could overlap with Andrew's inner circle sent shockwaves through the corridors of Buckingham Palace. And the worst part? None of this came from tabloids or gossip sites. It came from inside the royal family itself. As one insider put it, when someone like Fergie speaks, she's not gossiping, she's warning. Now the palace faces an impossible question. Do they defend Meghan and risk reigniting Andrew's scandals, or stay silent and let the rumors fester? But behind closed doors, something even more dangerous is unfolding. Because this isn't just about what Fergie said, it's about why she said it. And that motive may expose a royal rivalry no one saw coming. So why did Sarah Ferguson choose now to unleash this royal grenade?
Because Meghan thinks that she's above them. So now that Fergie's down, now she doesn't want to have anything to do with Fergie. But you don't do that with people who knows your secrets, people who know your skanky past. And Fergie's ready to tell on Meghan Markle. She's ready to destroy her. She's ready to put it out there.
According to palace insiders, her timing wasn't random, it was strategic. The royal machine has been quietly recalibrating ever since Meghan and Harry's explosive exit. And Fergie, ever the survivor, saw an opening to remind everyone that she still knows how to control the narrative. For years, Fergie lived in the shadow of scandal, ostracized, humiliated, written off by the very institution she once called family. But Meghan's rise to fame within royal circles reignited something in her, the urge to reclaim her relevance, even if it meant lighting a match under the monarchy's fragile peace. One former royal aide described it bluntly. This wasn't revenge, it was retaliation. Fergie has long watched Meghan dominate headlines, charm Hollywood, and manipulate the media with precision. Some claim she felt Meghan had taken her playbook, the outsider turned royal narrative, and rewritten it for global fame. Now, by connecting Meghan to Andrew's scandal-tainted world, Fergie was pulling her rival down to the same level she'd once been dragged to. But there's another theory, darker and far more deliberate. By mentioning Meghan in the same breath as Andrew, Fergie may have been shifting public scrutiny away from herself and and her ex-husband, a royal diversion tactic, as some call it, sacrifice one image to save another. Either way, the move worked.
Also, allegedly, Tom Inskip, his friend, warned Harry because Tom Inskip had hired yacht girls a few years back, and one of them yacht girls was Rachel Meghan Markle. This is why Meghan didn't invite Harry's best friend to the wedding, because he knew her, if you know what I mean. He knew her.
Overnight, the headlines changed course, and while Meghan's team scrambled to contain the fallout, Fergie sat back and watched as the chaos she started began rewriting royal history, one headline at a time. But the deeper question remains, was this personal payback or a palace power play? When the story broke, Prince Harry's world reportedly shattered overnight. Sources close to Montecito say he was stunned into silence when the yacht allegations resurfaced, blindsided that something from Meghan's past could be twisted into royal ammunition. Friends claim his first reaction wasn't anger, it was disbelief. But once the magnitude sank in, the fury followed. Behind closed doors, the atmosphere grew tense. Meghan, usually poised and composed, was said to be pacing the room, insisting the stories were nothing but character assassination. Harry, on the other hand, demanded answers, not from Meghan, but from the people spreading the story. Who's behind this? He allegedly asked, his voice sharp, his patience gone. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, the palace was eerily quiet. Official spokespeople refused comment. Senior courtiers moved meetings behind closed doors. And deep within royal corridors, whispers began to circulate, not about the truth of Fergie's words, but about Harry's reaction to them.
It could be also happening that the royal family is saying, hey, if you put a book out about Meghan Markle and completely destroy everything and really tell the people how Meghan met Harry, then we can work with you, or we're going to compensate you with somehow. Because I don't see Sarah Fergie trashing King Charles. She's not that stupid yet. She's not that dumb.
One insider put it bluntly, Harry isn't just angry at Fergie. He feels betrayed by the family's silence. The tension between the Sussexes and the royals, already stretched to breaking point, began to fracture even further. Meghan reportedly urged Harry to rise above it, to stay focused on their brand and family. But the damage was done, because this wasn't just gossip, this was personal. The man who once walked away from the crown for love was now realizing that even oceans away, the monarchy could still reach him and strike where it hurts most. But now a new question burns in the shadows. Was this fallout accidental or perfectly engineered from within the royal ranks themselves? This isn't just another royal feud, it's a mirror reflecting the monarchy's deepest fractures. For the institution, the Meghan-Andrew link is more than a headline. It's a reminder that the past never truly disappears. It simply resurfaces when it's most inconvenient. The palace has always survived by controlling the story, but this time, the narrative slipped from their hands and landed squarely in the court of public opinion. For Prince Harry, the scandal cuts through more than pride. It challenges the foundation of everything he sacrificed to protect. The man who walked away from royal life to shield his family now finds himself watching that same family dismantled by whispers he can't control.
John Lefebvre, who's behind the very popular Twitter account GS Elevator, Goldman Sachs Elevator, shared on Twitter that Harry wasn't the first prince that Meghan met. In a tweet on December the 9th, he wrote, Prince Harry revealed that he met Meghan Markle on Instagram. Amazingly, that's not the first prince she met online. All the Saudis flew her to France and Dubai as a yacht companion. He's just the dope who tried to turn her into a housewife.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
For Meghan, it's a cruel twist of irony. The very charm that once opened doors in elite circles is now being painted as a weapon, a strategy instead of a struggle, ambition instead of innocence. Her reputation, carefully built through compassion campaigns and brand deals, now trembles under the weight of old rumors revived by royal politics. And for Fergie, she's proved once again that power in the royal world doesn't come from titles, it comes from timing. With one sentence, she's reminded everyone that she's still capable of shaking the palace walls. In the grand scheme, this isn't about one remark or one scandal. It's about legacy, loyalty, and leverage. Because for the monarchy, this moment is more than gossip, it's a warning. And for the Sussexes, it's a sign that no matter how far they run, the shadow of the crown will always find them. But the question that remains is the most dangerous of all. Who's truly pulling the strings behind this royal chaos? Every royal scandal has its ghosts, the figures who linger just out of sight, pulling strings while pretending to stay innocent. And in this story, the whispers point not just to Fergie or Meghan, but to the network behind them. According to insiders, the spark that reignited this entire controversy didn't come from Buckingham or Montecito. It came from London's quiet elite, the kind of people who know every royal secret long before it hits the press. These are the gatekeepers, the power brokers, the fixers, the old friends who trade information like currency. Some reports suggest that a select few from Andrew's long-forgotten circle were eager to shift public focus. With Andrew's past still haunting the royal narrative, what better distraction than to tether Meghan, Hollywood's favorite duchess, to the same scandalous world?
The author further said on Twitter, the Duchess of Sussex is controlled by the same forces that control Jeffrey Epstein.
I do believe he's just as much of an idiot as Prince Harry is. And Sarah Ferguson is as cunning and as deviant and as skanky as Meghan Markle. She just was lucky that when she was doing all her skankiness, the internet was not around.
But here's the twist. Those same sources claim the leak was tested first, circulated privately among a handful of editors before the Ferguson comment even made it public. Meaning, someone wanted this explosion to happen exactly when it did. Behind the glamour and the gossip, the real story isn't just about yachts or grudges. It's about control. Control over headlines, over legacies, over who gets to survive the storm and who becomes its casualty. Because in the royal chessboard of image and influence, no move is accidental. And if Meghan's name was used as a pawn in a bigger royal game, then someone somewhere just declared checkmate. The only question left is, who's the player bold enough to outmaneuver both the palace and the Sussexes? As the dust settles over this latest royal eruption, one thing has become crystal clear: there are no winners in this war, only survivors. In Montecito, the atmosphere has reportedly turned icy. The once cheerful glow around the Sussex brand now flickers under the weight of uncertainty. Meghan, who has mastered the art of public reinvention, is said to be recalibrating, quietly pausing major appearances and steering her narrative back toward humanitarian causes. Damage control, but with a designer touch. Harry, however, is walking a different path. Friends describe him as distant, restless, torn between defending his wife and confronting the reality that royal politics still haunt him no matter how far he's fled. The man who once defied a monarchy for love now faces the painful realization that his past, his family, and his freedom are still chained to the same crown.
She brought Jeffrey Epstein into that idiot formerly known as Prince Andrew into the royal family.
These two women, Sarah Ferguson and Meghan Markle, are holding the entire royal family hostage.
Meanwhile, inside Buckingham Palace, silence reigns, but it's the kind that screams. Senior aides refuse to address Fergie's words, while the king's advisors reportedly weigh how much truth can be buried without awakening a bigger scandal. And somewhere in the shadows, those who orchestrated this storm watch with quiet satisfaction. Their goals achieved, their fingerprints wiped clean. The monarchy endures, but it bleeds a little more each time. For the royals, it's reputation versus survival. For Harry and Meghan, it's love versus legacy. But the real mystery still hangs in the air like thunder before the storm. What secret truth was worth burning the royal peace for? And more importantly, who's brave enough to reveal it next? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the storm shaking every royal corridor tonight. Fergie's words have cracked open secrets the palace hoped were buried forever, and now every whisper echoes louder than the crown itself. But if you think this is the first time Sarah Ferguson has thrown royal order into chaos, you need to see what she's been hiding behind her luxury lifestyle. Because before this yacht scandal ever made headlines, Fergie was already living like royalty, without a royal budget. From private jets to $1,200 a plate dinners, from designer wardrobes to million-dollar debts, her life reads less like a duchess's diary and more like a billionaire's wish list gone rogue. So when you're done here, don't stop watching. Go straight to our previous expose about Fergie's outrageous spending exposed, royal feasts, private jets, and $4.2 million in debt. It's a jaw-dropping look at how one duchess turned extravagance into an art form, and how those same choices may have pushed her to pull Meghan back into the spotlight. Because in the royal world, every move has a motive, and every headline hides a secret. You're watching Royal Spotlight, where power meets scandal, and every secret has a price. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and binge the full royal saga. Because if tonight's revelations shook you, the next one will leave your jaw on the palace floor.